this should not be a shock, but it's establishing a consistent daily routine, a consistent schedule, consistent rhythm. This is the foundation of great sleep. Your body just thrives off of rhythm and it craves it, honestly. So this is anywhere from when you wake to when you eat and your sleep cycle. If these vary wildly, then your sleep cycle is going to be affected. Your internal clock, your circadian rhythm, it thrives off of rhythm. And so if that's kind of out of whack and you're working out at 9 a.m. one day and then 5 p.m. the other, and that's constantly just up and down, it can lead to a confusion in hormone release, a confusion in digestion, and just a confusion in your sleep cycle. So with that being said, I've always been a creature of habit and I like my routine, but I really refined it even more, knowing especially that your circadian rhythm is really linked to your digestion. What my schedule looks like is I get up in the morning and I do some creative writing, then 7 a.m. I'm working out, I'm lifting weights, right? And then after my workout, I go for a walk. Then after I walk, I eat. And that is consistent every single day. And then I eat again in the evening, and we'll get into the eating schedule and times, but just as far as a consistent routine goes, that's sort of the layout of that. And then as well as just prioritizing outdoor walks too. This is really important because your circadian rhythm is really connected to sunlight and movement, right? So there's movement plus sunlight equals just circadian gold. So consistency tells your body that we're safe, we're predictable, and sleep follows that cue. So that's important, consistency in your daily routine. Number 2, timing and food quality matter. You are what you eat and when you eat. Your gut produces 90% serotonin, which turns into melatonin, and this is your sleep hormone. So you can see how poor gut health equals poor sleep health. So why gut health matters to your sleep is for this reason, that if your gut is disrupted, and when serotonin turns into melatonin, it could just have a very disruptive melatonin cycle. Then there is inflammation. So if you have poor gut health, this can cause systemic inflammation, which often does not let you rest or get a really good quality deep rest. Then there is blood sugar swings. So if you have poor gut health, then blood sugar swings can happen, often spiking in the middle of the night and often waking you up. So what I do is to combat that really is have 2 nourishing meals a day. And I've already discussed in the morning, I work out, I walk, and then I eat my meal. This is most of the time, right? This is pretty much my routine. However, there are some occasions where I may eat a little bit before that, and that's okay. But as long as I'm mostly consistent with my schedule, I find that my sleep is very consistent, my elimination is very consistent, and all the things in your body really work in concert, and I love that. So this is why I'm sharing. Okay, so then we have my morning meal, and then I eat at 4:35 my dinner, right? Again, varies a little bit, maybe going out or something like that, but most of the time the cutoff is 5 p.m. So what that does is it gives my body time to fully digest before bedtime. And I'm usually going to bed between 9 to 10, right? So it gives my body time to digest, stabilize my blood sugar, and also prime my sleep hormones. So love this. And I feel like going to bed is it's soothing and it's smooth. It's a very smooth transition by giving that much time before I actually fall asleep. Then I'm also going to mention water too, is I kind of cut it off around 6 p.m. Again, depending on what the day has demanded, but typically around 6 p.m. so that I'm not waking up in the middle of the night peeing. And I know a lot of you that I have spoken with do that. So that can disrupt sleep, obviously. So be mindful of your food, timing consumption, the quality of it, just making sure that it really supports gut health. And also, just kind of keep the liquids a few hours before you hit the pillow. So going even further of how meal timing can support your circadian rhythm, We have our brain's master clock that is regulated by light, and then we have our peripheral clocks, especially our, our gut and our liver and our pancreas that are heavily influenced by when we eat. And so regular meal timing signals these systems to help with our central clock. And this can promote metabolic efficiency. It can also balance cortisol and melatonin rhythms. And it can also reduce inflammation and any overnight glucose spikes. So any sort of late night eating is going to throw off this synchronization and disrupt our melatonin production and make quality sleep more difficult. So eating earlier in the day will help and aid in digestion and your body's natural way to sort of wind down. So with that being said, I thought I'd share some sleep supportive foods that maybe you can have more in the evening time. And some of the best foods that can support your sleep cycle is like tryptophan rich foods, such as you've heard, maybe turkey, eggs, chicken, or even grass-fed dairy. And this is not necessarily to replace like ruminant animals from an animal-based diet, but I think if you are maybe struggling with sleep, you might need some of just to sort of switch it up and add variety. Healthy fats, tallow, butter, ghee, fatty fish, mineral-rich like bone broth, organ meats, as I mentioned too, like raw dairy, sardines, and then some optional carbs if needed. Actually, I don't eat any carbs in the evening at like when I'm done at 5, right? I just have actually mostly protein and fats, rarely have carbs, because I actually find it disrupts my sleep. But some may actually benefit from having carbs at night. And if you do, some of the best carbs that you can have are squash. And then if you do sweet potato, then go for it. I think that's a good option as well. And some plantains or white rice too. I don't do white rice or potatoes, but again, if you're one of those that do, that could be very helpful for a sleep promoting food. Then the foods that you do want to avoid at night, and again, this one shouldn't be a shock, but caffeine about 6 to 8 hours before bedtime, alcohol, refined sugars, or sugar in general. I definitely don't eat fruits or honey or like maple syrup or anything like that past my morning meal, unless, again, it's a demanding day and for specific needs or for specific goals. So definitely avoiding that for me. But sugar, refined sugar, and ultra processed food and seed oils, right? Because those could definitely affect the gut. Number 3, morning and evening sunlight equals circadian syncing. So light is the key that sets your body's internal clock. And actually, I would add during the day to that. Morning, daytime, and the last like sunset time, right? So your morning sunlight delivers a broad spectrum light, including near infrared, and this supports your serotonin production, which is your precursor to melatonin. So this helps balance cortisol and promotes healthy hormone function, right? So in the morning, typically what I do is I go out and maybe with a little bit of coffee, grounding, barefoot. I'm barefoot, and I look at where the sun is coming up and look in the sky for about 5 to 10 minutes, and that'll help. Like, honestly, you do that once, like do the whole follow. If you do just number 3 with the morning light and the evening light and just follow that pattern, you can really feel the difference, in my opinion. Then there's evening sunlight, which is at sunset. So it's rich in red and near infrared wavelengths. And due to the sun's low angle, this warm light signals your brain that it's time to wind down and triggers the natural rise of melatonin. So what is my ritual for this? I guess it's more of a walk. So depending on where I'm at, right now, currently I'm in Colorado, and it's wild because the sun comes up really early, and luckily I'm already up by then. And not even luckily, it's just I'm up by then. That's just my body's naturally waking up. And then in the evening, typically after my dinner meal, I'll go for a walk, and that sort of is when, the sun's going down, and it depends on where I'm at. Like I said, I'll pop back outside for when the sun is setting and just hang out there, breathe, maybe meditate a little bit. But yeah, that's sort of my evening routine. So making sure to get that morning sunlight as well as the evening. And then I definitely make it a point to just pop out there during the day and get some rays and some sunlight on my skin without any sunglasses, or if you do have maybe glasses too, I take them off as well. It won't work either through the window, so it's very important to get the full benefits of the light spectrum, including near infrared and UV wavelengths. So those are the ones during the day. That direct outdoor exposure without glass or sunglasses that are blocking the eyes is essential. So standard windows and many lenses filter out this crucial wavelength. So why this works is near infrared light from the sun positively affects or positively promotes mitochondrial function, boosting cellular energy and reducing any inflammation. Being outdoors also increases nitric oxide and calms your nervous system, as well as grounds your body through contact through the earth. And so just 5 to 10 minutes a day, not a day, but 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, and then 5 to 10 minutes in the evening will just profoundly make a huge difference in your sleep quality, in your energy. And yeah, so let me know if you try like number 3 down in the comments below, that if anything, if you want to try one thing first, this is the one to try. Okay, number 4, and this is actually a big one. Might even do this before, getting out for early sunlight and the evening sunlight, because it's an elimination thing, right? And so limit blue light and harsh lights and EMFs, all right? And we are just modern lighting and tech overstimulate our brains and can just confuse our hormones. So I start powering down electronics and things 1 to 2 hours before bedtime, definitely 2 hours, even more so, honestly. And so there are tools that I use, and this is before bed, right? And there are tools that I use throughout the day and in the evening time to also help protect my body and to just insulate myself from being affected by this overstimulation. And so some of the tools that I use are yellow glasses. And so what they do is they block harsh blue light exposure from our electronics. And I do that when I'm like looking at my computer, right? Or I'm on my computer, or I'm on my phone. But during the day when I'm around the house or if I'm outside, I don't wear them. Like you don't want to block that out, right? You just want to block out the junk light, really. And so I use yellow glasses in the day. And one of my favorite companies is Bond Charge. I think they do a phenomenal job with just quality products. And they're very mindful of everything from low EMFs to just, actually making a product that's not fake. There's a lot of red light, fake things out there too. So just make sure you're getting the real deal, and this is it. So we have the yellow lenses for during the day, and then for at night, I have red glasses. So I have a couple of different options. I have red light bulbs that when I'm in my own home, like all my red lights or all my light bulbs are switched to red light. And so, if I'm traveling or whatnot, I use red light sensors. Or if I want to watch a movie or something that I know that I can't really filter out unless I wear like red light glasses. And so at night I'll do that. I'll wear red light glasses. And so if you don't have the bulbs or the motion sensors, red light glasses are easy to travel with and to maybe bring to a friend's for a movie night or something. But those are options to completely block out the blue light, where yellow is just, it doesn't completely block it out because it is during the day. And you should be awake during the day, right? Where it's at night, where the blue light's on, then it just sort of confuses and signals your body like, hey, wait, it's daytime. So your body can't really do as intended and naturally wind down. So that is what I use, like tools-wise for glasses and for red light. I also use an EMF blocking mat. So most of the time I'm at a desk or I'm standing or whatnot when I'm on my computer. But if for some reason I'm just feeling like, hey, I want to be on the couch and I want to put my laptop on my lap, I have a laptop mat that blocks EMFs too, because again, this could all affect our hormones. And when our hormones get out of whack, then our sleep cycle gets out of whack too. So I use that. And then also another great way to protect from EMFs is stop using, your Bluetooth headphones or holding your phone to your ear. So either use it on speaker or just, attach corded headphones to your phone. And that can also be found at Bond Charge too. They have these air tubes. They have an EMF blocking laptop mat. So there's that. And then, phone on airplane mode if it's in your pocket or something. And then especially during sleep time, I keep it out of the room and just whatever. And if you need an alarm clock, get one of those little ones or just keep it out of the room, because then, if you hear it, you have to get up and walk to it and then you're up. You don't have to hit the snooze button either. So this matters because blue light can suppress melatonin. And so obviously that's your sleep hormone. So you don't want that blue light to affect that natural process. And EMFs can disrupt your cellular repair and also your brain waves. So this is all very, very much important to our sleep. And screens and stimulation increase cortisol, which can equal insomnia. So very important to insulate and protect your sleep that way by blocking out blue lights or EMFs. I found that very helpful. And you just you feel it in real time too, not just your energy the next day. It's just like you just feel it in your nervous system in real time. So love that, because you're eliminating, not necessarily like, oh, I got to do this and this and this. And it's like, no, clean house. Get rid of it. Number 5, temperature and air quality. Yes. As soon as you do it, you're going to feel it. I swear, I must feel like it during my sleep. I'm like, this is great, deep sleep, because the temperature is cooler. But anyways, I keep my room at 69 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 21 degrees Celsius. And so cooler temperatures are scientifically proven to support melatonin production, which definitely promotes deeper and more restorative rest. So your core body temperature naturally drops in the evening, and that's when it signals that it's time to sleep. So you're kind of, by keeping a cooler room, it helps your body lower its temperature. So it's really like supporting the natural way to wind down. And it maintains it too. So during the night, it'll maintain it when you do sleep at these cooler temperatures. And so it enhances the release of melatonin, which obviously is the hormone that supports your sleep and wake cycles, as we discussed. And so when your body can't cool down properly, this is where it disrupts not only your sleep onset, but it also decreases the time spent in more like deep restorative sleep. And so those deep restorative sleep states are typically your slow wave and your REM sleep, right? So studies consistently show that sleeping in cooler environments improves sleep quality while reducing night awakenings. And it even just supports your metabolic health too. So, I know that I feel that right away for me. So that is something that, just another protocol or another step to really like creating just the best night's sleep possible. So that's great. So temperature, and that's not all like the whole equation, right? There's also air quality. And I'm really, really noticing this as I travel. So when I sleep in different environments, actually, coming from an environment where I've really kept the air quality like pure, and sleeping in different environments, I can just like now feel it in my sleep and also in my hair, skin, and nails. But that's a whole nother story. Here we're talking about sleep. And so I'm traveling now, and actually this past week has been a really brutal sleep schedule for the reason specifically for air quality and actually also temperature too. So because I have my lights with me and I have all those things and I have my routine down, but it's interesting too to see when one of these steps have changed or have altered, that sleep quality does change. So let's dive into air quality. So modern indoor homes often contain just like toxic indoor air pollutants like VOCs, volatile organic compounds. And so this is from off-gassing of furniture or building materials or cleaning products. And a lot of times, like, it can stick to, curtains or bed sheets or just, even your ceilings. And also the obvious too, mold spores and dust, which can irritate your respiratory system. It can cause inflammation or just increase inflammation and negatively affect the quality of your sleep and even your daytime energy. So for me, especially like living in Texas too, I think mold is just a big thing. So I make sure that I use tools. I believe, especially in these, energy efficient homes too, I do believe an air purifier is kind of a must in today's world, which you're surrounded kind of by a toxic bubble. You just can't really escape it. So apart from living in the woods or living amongst trees, honestly, like, plants do not purify your home or cut it. And that's a whole nother topic too, that, it was a NASA study done in a very small space of how plants purify the air, and that doesn't really apply to our homes. So you really need a great quality air purifier. And so to create a very like clean and cool, sanctuary within my space, I use the Jasper air purifier. It's very similar to just the effectiveness of an air doctor, but it's actually even better in my opinion. And it's also like super sexy. It's just like sleek and it looks good in your home, right? And so when speaking to an air quality expert, they would say that bigger is better, especially, after, they're not only an air quality expert, but that's because they came in and they restored homes from like, wildfire disasters. And they would just use these like huge industrial size air purifiers and need it for weeks to really get the air quality back. So knowing that we're sort of surrounded in a toxic bubble, you do need a pretty big air purifier, and the Honeywells just do not cut it. So, and between air purifying and then also opening up the doors or the windows in your home a lot during the day, and then keeping like up with the cleaning in your home, and also using natural fiber material, non-toxic bedding, and a mattress made without harmful chemicals. So since making these changes, I have noticed a huge difference in my sleep, and I didn't notice it because my air quality, I think, was good already. I didn't necessarily notice it when I changed it, but I noticed it when I left my house and went to somebody else's house, such as this one. You're like, whoa, air quality really matters. So it's really cool to know that it definitely works, and it gives me a much deeper night's rest. So since making that, not only is my sleep deeper, but also, honestly, like on a side note, I feel it in my hair, skin, nails. Just the quality of the air is really, really helpful for nourishment of your skin. So hopefully you guys will fix your air quality soon. Number 6 is red light in the evening. And so this is from your light bulbs to even red light therapy. So this is one of the things where I definitely added to by using, red light bulbs, as I've mentioned before, but red light can mimic natural sunset. And so unlike standard light bulbs, it doesn't suppress melatonin, it supports it. And so by doing that, I swapped all sort of harsh blue lights or overhead lights for red light, or just even dark. I mean, you can even use, candles or fire if you wanted, right? But my body just winds down faster. This you can feel in real time too as well. So once you just stop using like any overhead lights, I swear I don't turn on any light switches anymore. Like the basic light switches. I have like red light lamps, or again, like I've changed bulbs in my home, but since I've traveled, I'm just like, I have these little lamps or motion sensors. And so red light bulbs you can use red light motion sensors. There's also an app, or there's also a filter on your phone, a color filter thing that you can change it to red, and just have a little keyboard shortcut where you can change it to red with like 3 clicks on the side. There's also a thing called Iris on your computer that I use to turn it to sleep mode, which also just turns it red as well too. So just making sure that you are filtering out all blue light at night so that it can mimic the sunset. So I also, as like another bonus too, I use red light therapy in the evening as sort of a ritual. So it supports just mitochondrial repair, tissue healing, and nervous system calm. I swear by not only changing my air quality too, actually, so this is another kind of side note, but changing my air quality and then also doing red light at night, it has changed like anxiety the next day. I used to kind of be more of an anxious person, and now I think since switching that harsh stimulus, it's really, really helped manage that a lot. So I think that this could be very helpful for somebody too that has anxiety, and it may not be like, oh, my sleep is messed up, or oh, my energy is low, but maybe somebody has anxiety. This could also help with that, or so I think. So I don't know, give it a try, experiment. Okay, so post-dinner movement is number 7. It, for me, equals deeper sleep. Now, like I said, these are just sort of my steps and my protocol that has helped elevate and optimize my sleep for just deeper rest, better recovery, more energy the following day. And so daily movement just like after dinner is amazing. It's been just a game changer for my sleep. And exercise also increases adenosine, which is a sleep-promoting chemical that builds up in your brain throughout the day and then signals when it's time to rest. And it also lowers the stress hormones like cortisol, which helps your body, of course, then transition into a more relaxed and parasympathetic state. Not to mention, movement in general, I train in the mornings, right? And so there's, adenosine buildup there as well. And then I take the walk in the evenings after dinner. And that movement also helps glucose balance. It also helps your lymphatic system, and it helps digestion, and it helps circulation, and it helps hormone regulation, and also, of course, helps stress relief and nervous system reset. And then it obviously gets you outside under the light as well too. So that's super helpful for all things sleep cycle. And also for me, it's very symbolic in ways that and again, like I feel this in real time when I'm walking, that you almost feel like you're wearing your adulting cap during the day and you're doing work, and you're just kind of getting bombarded by whether it's like emails or these harsh lights that you're trying to filter out, and just making that transition that you're just switching hats to like, okay, my, work and adulting day is done. And then you transition to just this like evening walk after your dinner. And it's just such a it's like almost like you're just swapping hats, where it's like, okay, I'm going to help promote and insulate just, deep recovery and sleep, and just get into that wind down process. So I love it. Especially coming off of a busy day, it's like, hey, you should start slowing down. So that's number 7. Okay, number 8. This is kind of a bonus one, and I started doing this once a week, but now it's easily moved to like 5 times, and if I can, honestly, every day of the week, a sauna session. And here's why, is because actually like sweating helps lower your core body's temperature after the session. And so a lot of people may think like, oh, wait, you just said that you want your core temperature lower when you go to bed to get a deeper night's rest, and which you do. But the magic happens after the sauna, because you raise your core body's temperature, but then your body's working hard to lower it. And so this improves your ability to fall asleep and stay asleep, because your body again is working after the session to lower your core temperature. I mean, not only that, but it also like boosts circulation, detoxification, reduces muscle tension, gets you in a state of relaxation. So all of these like amazing things. And it's just like, it feels so good. And like during it, you sweat and you're like, oof, this is tough, or it's raising my core temperature. But after it, like you feel it again, like just real time, just all of a sudden, like this feels like I'm going into a deeper sleep or deeper rest. So, yeah, that's sort of my bonus step. And once again, it's the same company that I use for red light therapies and then light bulbs and also EMF blocking. So this is by Bond Charge. I use their sauna blanket. Totally worth the money for that at-home blanket. It rolls up and it packs really, really nicely. So yeah, and like I said, I'm traveling right now, and that was the last thing that couldn't fit in my truck, and I'm really mad that I didn't take it because my sleep, like I said, this week has been a little bit off, mostly because of air quality, but also I think because of my sweat sessions and saunas. And so actually I linked up with a sauna place over here too, because I think that's very, very important for me. Again, I'm at that level where I feel that a sauna session was just like, it upgraded my sleep big time as well too. Like all 8 of these things I'm really attached to and I could feel it when I'm away from it, like I said, when I'm traveling or something. So sleep, honestly, and these are some of my final thoughts, are sleep isn't just about closing your eyes. It's just a 24-hour process, and actually even more than that. It's just, how much you can keep a consistent routine and a rhythm. And so it begins when you wake up, get out there, get some morning sunlight, and then, do a little work, make sure you filter out some of the things that can affect your sleep cycle, try to eat at the same times every day. And, don't overstress either, because that could also affect your sleep too, but just don't stress it. And like, if you can just take one little tip, go for it. I think it may help you transform your sleep, your energy, your healing, your recovery. And yeah, like I said, if you just try any one of these tips, feel free to just share in the comments down below. Tell me how you feel and the difference it makes in your life, because I think that's really important. And when we get really good quality, deeper sleep, it just, it translates to quality of life during the day when you're awake. So I hope these tips were really helpful for you, and find all of the information down below of all the tools that I use to support the sleep cycle. And yeah, with just comments, questions, concerns, or just, yeah, any questions. So thanks for joining, and see you next time.